Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Okay, I am here to make some simple little, I guess you could call them pockets. You could definitely use them as pockets, and whatever size your paper is going to determine how big your pockets are. This is just a regular book. I am just going to tear some pages out, and that's what we're going to use, and this is a great way to use up book pages. Now, I am going to make these and then I'm going to make something else out of them. But our first job is to make our paper square. Now, this is how you make a piece of paper square. I don't know if everybody knows this. I think everybody knows this, but it's worth showing just in case you don't. If you just fold it into a triangle and then tear off the bits that hang over, you've got a square and a bunch of scraps that you're going to have to use for something else. But that is a square. It looks like a triangle, I know, but it is a square. See? Ta-da! Now, I believe that everybody knows how to do that, but if somebody doesn't show you, you just don't know. We're going to fold it into a triangle, as you saw, and then we're going to take the one of the bottom points of the triangle up and put it along the side there, just so that we've got sort of a straight line. And we're going to fold the other one over the top, and then there's a little gap in here. We're going to take one of the back pieces and fold it down and tuck it into that little gap at the front, and that's going to secure the whole thing together, and you have a little sort of odd shaped envelope, if you like, and you can use them like that. That's not how I'm going to use them today, but that is something you can do. You can just tuck some things in there and then tuck the other flap over the top, and you've got a little tiny envelope. Great to send stickers or something to somebody. What I am going to do today is make paper clips out of them. So I'm just going to use some of this scrap that we have here, and I'm going to secure a paper clip to the back, and then you can pop them in a book. So that's my project for today. Now I'm going to make a bunch of these. I have already made a bunch of these little envelopes off camera. I'm going to make a few more so you can watch me fold them. And yeah, I'm going to make, like I say, paper clips out of mine, but you can do whatever you like with them. Like I say, they're great for little gifts. And I'll show you how they look when they're in a book. Now, if you don't like the little pointy top bit hanging out, you can always snip it off or fold it over, fold it to the back and fold it over where the paper clip is, if you like. I like them because they're cute. They poke out the top of the book, but that might not be your thing. So anyway, I'm going to get to making this one into a paper clip, and then we will fold a few more. As you saw, I like to put a bit of acetone based glue over the paperclip section just to make sure that holds very securely. You don't want your paperclip pulling out. And the reason I'm using this paper instead of the book page that I tore off to make it into a square is this is sturdier. I just feel like it will hold the paperclip much better. This is quite soft paper. It's a very old book. So yeah, I just want to make sure my paperclip stays put, so that's why I'm using something different. And this is what they look like in a book. They just sort of poke out the top, and you could, decorate the top there a bit so that you've got something cute. Put a little bit of lace on it, or a bit of coloured paper on it, or a tag or a ticket or something. And yeah, I think it's just a bit of something interesting poking out the top of your book. So I'm just looking for some little bits and pieces to pop in to show you, But yeah, see, you can just pop a bit of something in there. It's a bit big. But yeah, actually what I do end up putting in some of them is some of my paper flowers, and that looks kind of cute. Looks like a little little vase poking out the top of your your book. So anyway, you can do whatever you like with them, but yeah, just pop a few little bits and pieces in them, and it sort of peeks out the top of the book, and you can see. There you go. There's some just cutouts. There's some flower cutouts from the cricket, but yeah, I think they're quite a cute little idea, and I'm going to make a bunch of them, so I will do a bit more folding and show you how, just in case you didn't get it the first time, and then we will yeah, just make a few at our leisure. I won't bore you with too many, but yeah. At the end, something I did off camera, and I did take a photo and we'll show you at the end. Those little bits of paper that I tore off when I was making it square, I actually squared those off as well and made tiny, tiny ones out of those pieces as well. So you'll see a bunch of the different sizes. So it just depends on the size of your book page, the size of your square of book page, as to the size of your little envelope or pocket. And they do make great little pockets. You can just stick them down in a journal as a pocket, and they're kind of cute. You don't have to put them on the bottom of a page. You can put them sort of near the top of the page or in the middle of the page or wherever you like, because they're quite small and quite decorative. So, but yeah, there you go. There's another one. They're so quick and easy to make. I made a ton of these today. I just sat and put a gardening video on or something, and sat and fold these. So I have a pile of them. Probably more than I'll need in a lifetime now, but I thought I would share them with you and show you how I do them. I found this was quite a good way to get rid of strips of scrap paper as well. Just wrapping a strip around. It's a little bit decorative on the pocket, and it holds the paper clip nicely. So I raided my scrap drawer and found quite a few strips and did this. So you can use any sort of paper, obviously. I did use some book page, just not the book page that I'm using to make the pockets, because like I say, that's quite soft, and I was afraid the paperclip might end up pulling through it in the end of the day. But if you've got some sturdy book page, it does a perfect job. I've been using the offcuts of those brown paper bags that I put napkin over, obviously. And this is just a piece of sketchbook paper that's been batch dyed, or office paper or something. I can't really recall, but yeah, it's a good way to use up those scraps. And you can snip off the front folds, or you can bend them down, or whatever you like. Anything goes. It's just a good way to use up some scraps and some book page, most importantly, because we've all got a ton of those lying around. And just as an aside, these stack really nicely. You can tuck them inside each other, and they don't take up much room in a drawer if you make a big pile of them. I say that because I looked at all the ones I made and went, how am I going to store all of these? There's so many. But if you just slide them inside each other, they stack beautifully and just hold each other nice and sturdy, so they won't get damaged or whatever. So yeah, you can afford to make a big pile of them and just toss the bundle in a drawer and grab them when you need them. And here's some of my little doodled flowers I do on cookbook pages. And I'm just going to tuck them in there, and it looks like a little bouquet of flowers, which is kind of cute, poking out the top of your book. Anyway, guys, again, super simple project. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you make some, because yeah, they're kind of cute in a journal, and like I say, they make terrific pockets. You don't have to make paper clips out of them. I just felt like paper clips today. So thanks very much for spending your time with me today, guys. I really do appreciate your company, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Have a great day. Bye.